Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara, and today's video is going to be my October housing market update. So as usual in these videos, I'm going to be breaking it up into a few different sections, those being price, inventory, mortgages, some local news, and some other little tidbits. Let's start out with price on a national level. So flip investors have been seeing their lowest profit margins that they've seen in the past decade. Right now they're hovering right around 34%, which is actually 7% lower than we saw last year. So there's been quite a big decrease, and if you've been following some of my other videos, you may be able to piece together why this is. So personally, I think that this is because of the increase in demand. There's low supply, high demand, prices are increasing, and there's also been a supply shortage in terms of construction materials too. If you've been listening to the news or watched some of my other videos, you'll know that lumber prices skyrocketed, as well as steel and some other materials too. So it's not particularly the best time to do flips, but some investors out there are still doing them. Price appreciation on homes has also started decreasing. So if we compare August to July, the price appreciation amount was right around 1.75%, whereas if we compare July to June, that percentage was right around 1.97. So if you watched one of my housing market update videos, I want to say from the spring, maybe it was April or May, I'm not quite sure. I think I mentioned this in a couple videos anyways, but it's been predicted that price appreciation will likely peak and pretty much level out. We've seen price appreciation increasing pretty drastically over the past 12 months, but that is starting to actually level out, as you can see through this statistic. To go along with that as well, Fannie Mae is actually predicting that Q2 of this year was the peak, and that going forward we will start to see that price appreciation percentage kind of decrease. So that being said, if you are still kind of on the fence about selling your property and you want to get a comparative market analysis done to give you an estimate of what your home might be worth, definitely reach out to me and I would be more than happy to help you with that. I also want to mention, as some of you probably already know, that rent has been increasing quite a bit. So nationally, rent for single-family homes has increased right around 8.5% year over year. That's a pretty big jump, and it's a much larger one than we have seen in years past. Moving on to price on a local level, rent around Asheville has also increased, and I know that if there are any of you guys out there who are maybe trying to move to Asheville from another state, you may have noticed that the demand for rentals here is very, very high. I know a lot of people, especially during the spring and summer months, have been needing to go on wait lists for apartments to be available, and it's just been really, really tough out there. Demand for apartments is super, super high. And consequently, the average rent for an Asheville apartment actually increased 21.5% year over year. So just like with residential sales, this increase is mainly due to the high demand and low supply. Currently, the Asheville area has some of the highest rent in North Carolina, with right around $1,225 being the median price for a one-bedroom apartment and just over $1,600 for a two-bedroom apartment. Now, I do want to mention here that I would say, in my personal experience, rent is not quite that high, but I'm not in Asheville City. So personally, I live a little bit outside of the city, and if you are looking to be right in the center of the action, then those numbers are quite accurate. But if you're okay with being on the outskirts, you probably won't have to pay that much. I don't want to guarantee that, obviously, and of course it depends on, you know, how updated you want the apartment to be, but I did want to include this statistic because it is important to note that rent and home prices have been increasing. So now that we are through with September and into October, that means that I can share with you guys the Q3 statistics for Buncombe County. I'm going to put a chart up on the screen that shows you the change in median sale price in Buncombe County. And in Q3 this year compared to Q3 of last year, it's up right around 16%, which puts it right around $400,000. Compared to Q2, it was right around $392,000. So as you can see, prices are still going up a little bit, but that's kind of to be expected since Q3 does include a lot of the summer months. So average sale price has stayed pretty much the same. So when we compare Q3 of this year compared to Q3 of last year, it's up right around 17%, which puts the average sale price for the county right around $505,000. When we compare this to Q2 of this year, it was right around $502,000, $503,000. So the average sale price hasn't increased a whole lot, but the median sale price has maybe gone up just a little bit. Okay, now moving on to inventory. In terms of inventory on a national level, I don't really have any statistics to share with you guys that are any different from what I've shared in previous videos. Basically, inventory is low across the country for both new builds and pre-existing homes. It's pretty much the same story locally too, so inventory is still low here. I will put a chart on the screen that shows you the change in inventory from Q3 this year compared to Q3 of 2020 and also 2019. So as you can see, inventory has been decreasing while the number of closed sales has been staying pretty much even. So we are seeing fewer homes on the market and pretty much the same amount of homes being sold. So naturally there's a bit of an imbalance there with high demand and not enough inventory. Okay, moving on to mortgages. So I know that one of the big fears that people had, especially last year, was that there were going to be a lot of foreclosures and that there was maybe going to be a big housing market crash. And I know that some people still feel that way. If you do, I would recommend going to check out my video all about why I personally don't think there's going to be a housing market crash. I will link that up above now. But keeping with today's video, I wanted to mention that foreclosure rates have actually hit a historic 22.5-year low. They're currently right around 0.2%. Fannie Mae is predicting that interest rates are going to start creeping up to the low 3s over the next year. Of course, that's just a prediction. No one can really say what will happen for sure, but right now they're hovering around 3, maybe a little bit lower, and they'll probably increase to the low 3s. All right, now on to some local news. So I'm sure that some of you guys, especially those of you that are locals, have heard about the Charlotte Street project, and recently that project was actually pulled. So it was a really controversial project that was going to be a mixed-use development just north of town on Charlotte Street. They were going to be tearing down some historic homes and replacing them, like I said, with a mixed-use development. The project was going to include 180 residential units, as well as 50,000 square feet of commercial space. Because of a lot of pushback from locals and also the city, the project has now officially been pulled. There's probably going to be some sort of revised plan that will be submitted to the city for review and approval, but we're not quite sure what that looks like at the moment. On a separate note, the Asheville City Council has voted to approve an urban place form district, which includes 122 acres across 4 areas in the north and eastern sides of Asheville. Those sections are off of Merriman Avenue, Tunnel Avenue, Bleachery Boulevard, and also the Old Sears. I wanted to mention some highlights from this project to let you know how this affects future developments. Alright, so I got it all pulled up. So on land parcels above 5 acres, new commercial buildings or significant redevelopments cannot exceed more than 20,000 square feet without adding residential units. Also, for every market rate housing unit provided, which basically just means your standard rent for the area, a developer cannot exceed 1,000 square feet of commercial space. However, for every affordable unit, which is provided at 80% or less of the area median income, a developer can add 2,000 square feet of commercial space, so basically double the commercial space if they offer some more affordable units. Additionally, buildings that are 4 stories or 55 feet tall, they can grow up to 6 stories or 75 feet if affordable housing is added. So as you can see, the city is incentivizing more affordable housing, which has been a significant problem here in Asheville. There are also internal street standards that include sidewalks and street trees and things like that to make the developments more desirable. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this, I will leave the link below for you to read a little bit more about it if it's something that you're interested in. But since affordable housing is quite a big issue here in Asheville, I thought that this would be worth mentioning. So one last statistic I want to mention here is about the net worth of people in the US and how that has changed year over year. So the net worth of US households in Q2 of this year rose to a record $141.7 trillion. This is up 19.6% from last year, and this is a statistic that the Fed released earlier last month. So that about covers it for today's video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm personally really enjoying including more local news like I did in this video and a couple of the other ones. If you enjoy that too, definitely hit the like button, leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite part of this video was, and also if you're not subscribed, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button too. I'm pretty sure that my next video is going to be all about fall and really fun things to do around Asheville this fall. Recently, I went to an apple orchard, been driving on the Blue Ridge Parkway. This weekend, I'm going to be going camping, and I'm going to include clips from all of these things in my next video. So if that interests you, and if you want to see more videos like this one, hit that subscribe button and let me know. Alright guys, that's it for today. I will see you guys very soon in the next one.